So in my programs, I try and eliminate 99% of the recovery methods, save hundreds of dollars, and get back hours upon hours of your time with three simple strategies. But first, a preface. Everything that I do for my clients is based on the idea of getting the same, if not better results in less time, without the frustration, without the headache, and without having to work as hard. And it's a bonus if you can do it in a way that doesn't create long-term detrimental effects to your habits or your belief systems. Because listen, if you need dry needling, cupping, extra massage, cold tub therapy, red light therapy, and you need it 4, 5, 6 days a week to even feel good, and you're not looking for elite performance, well, your programming kind of sucks. Your effort, amazing. Your programming, it's just simply poor and could be a lot better. Because if you need 50 reps of a corrected movement, or you need hours and hours and hours of the same movement over and over, it's probably not the best corrective exercise for you. Or your movement selection within your programming is poor. So the first of the three simple strategies that you can use is to use what you have. It sounds incredibly simple, but it's one that many of us miss over and over because a lot of times people are trying to use ranges of motion that they don't have. Simple as that. Skills they don't quite possess yet. And they're trying to operate at loads within those ranges of skills that they don't have. A lot of times it leads to a lot of extra tension, sometimes pain, sometimes injuries. And their body is reacting in a way that produces more tension, more body aches, more threat to the systems, aka pain. And then they're wondering why they can't just use all of those recovery methods I mentioned to correct the problem instead of going to the root of the problem right off the bat. Number two, manage your workload. If you try and run a mile in week 1 and 20 in week 2, you're gonna have a problem. No matter how amazing of a runner you are or how you look when you're running, if you just spike your activity to that degree, you're probably gonna feel the effects of it. And so if we simply manage the jumps from one week to the next in any movement, in any skill, in any load, then we're gonna better tolerate those jumps without needing the recovery methods to service yourself. So if you're having tons and tons of soreness and body aches from doing 8 sets of squats, you might be better served to do 3 sets of squats. Or you might be better served to squat with 100 pounds instead of 200 pounds. So simply managing your workload and learning to scale it up over time can save you from needing all of those recovery methods that we mentioned already in the first place. Number 3, and the one that does require a little more action, a little more nuance, is to give yourself more space, aka more options, aka increase your movement bank account. Because if you're constantly trying to make huge purchases in life that send you into overdraft, well, you're gonna have trouble getting out of the red. So much like with your movement bank account, if you keep trying big movements with huge skill at huge loads and with tons of overall intensity and frequency, and you don't have the money in your movement bank account, it's going to be tough. Same for movement. If you go into the gym and you're constantly using tons of movements that are way beyond what you possess in your movement library or your movement bank account, you're going to end up needing a lot more of those recovery methods because you're constantly going to be fighting to get out of the red. So we need to give yourself more ability, more skill, and more space to operate. That means maybe more range of motion, more skill of a movement. Maybe it simply means just better motor control within the movements you're already doing on the floor and then loading up intensity frequency later, especially when it comes under fatigue. So with these 3 simple strategies, I constantly create this ability to keep moving forward without having to reach for those recovery methods so early. We want those recovery methods to be there when you actually produce work that the body just totally wants to recover from. So give these 3 simple strategies a shot and let me know how it feels.